For years, one tennis debate has raged on, one that feels nowhere close to a viable solution: the length of the tennis season. "We play for 11 months a year. That's ridiculous," said former US Open finalist Alexander Zverev. "No other professional sport does that." While Zverev is right that tennis's top-tier season, which ran from January 3 to November 27 on the ATP Tour in 2022, is significantly longer than most, some players, including Roger Federer, argue that the season length is vital to keep the tennis ecosystem afloat. "You can't get rid of 20 tournaments. I don't know who wants that. Not those 20 tournaments, not the 200 or 1,000 players on tour." The lack of a lengthy off-season, which would allow players to recuperate and recover and focus on valuable physical training, is unquestionably a problem. But is it too narrow to look at the calendar in isolation? Are there instead more significant issues with the very essence of the tennis ecosystem? As of December 2022, 1,993 male tennis players are included on the ATP ranking system, a huge number when considering that it's tough to break even if you're outside the top 100 in the world. The length of the season is, as Federer says, absolutely necessary in these conditions. Players outside the top 100 must play as much as possible to make ends meet. In addition, there's uncertainty for many players over the types of events they can qualify for, given the limited number of places at tournaments and the fluidity of the ranking system. Furthermore, a lack of visibility and interest, and therefore money, at the lower levels means events generally take losses and harmful practices are encouraged, such as ITF tournaments not letting players practice on the match courts unless they stay in hotels at a greater expense where events are being hosted. But what if tennis could take greater control of different tiers of events and limit the number of players who could turn professional at the top of the game, introducing rungs of feeder tours below for them to graduate from more formally, as opposed to slogging up the unforgiving, unpredictable unified ranking system? Tennis could follow golf's lead, for example. In golf, players can compete on a host of tours, but only if they hold a tour card. Players can become a member of a leading tour by succeeding in an entry tournament or enjoying notable success on lesser tours. Within the tours, some ranking systems operate, but by reducing the number of players, the events can be more focused and target prize money to lower-ranked players. The lowest-ranked PGA Tour player is still guaranteed $500,000 of prize money per year should they retain their tour status. Compare that to tennis's world number 149, Filip Misalic, who picked up a little over $140,000 in 2022. A further advantage of golf's system is to boost the profile of other tours. For example, the European Tour is run separately and still provides significant financial incentives to players. Initiatives have also been agreed upon between the two tours, where the 10 top-ranked players who aren't already PGA Tour card holders earn PGA Tour card status for the next season. Should tennis take this approach and introduce stricter rules for tour qualification, it would have the opportunity to boost the profile of the lower-level tour events, generating more income and allowing players the chance to earn more money. The tours could also be held at a regional level, similar to the European Tour, allowing players to reduce their travel expenses and limit the environmental impact of global travel. It makes no sense for there to be so many professional players in the tennis ecosystem when the system only works for the few rather than the many. A complete redesign of the rungs of each tour, building in separate ranking systems and qualification methods, can allow a more focused approach to generating the profile of said tours. This will guarantee more income for more players by essentially introducing a base-level salary for a wider pool of top-tier players. Fairness and integrity of the competition are still maintained, with poor performers on top tours having to earn their way back into the tour via qualifying events, whilst there could be pre-season entry events that allow the most talented young players in the world to qualify through qualification tournaments automatically. As a result, there would be fewer, more high-quality tournaments at the game's elite level. The season could be condensed significantly, with every tour running a squeezed season, providing significant earning opportunities for a wider pool of players. Of course, gaining buy-in for a radical revamp of the tennis tour would take a lot of work. Still, the game's stakeholders need to consider the bloated nature of the sport's participants, the physical damage caused by the season's length, and the potential revenue that could be generated by a new system, tackling ludicrous wealth inequality in the upper echelons of the game. A card system could be the answer to all its problems.